First thing I'm going to check out on this car is the exterior. The front headlights, these are not the stock ones, these are some cheap aftermarket ones. Those I'll be changing out. Got a couple of dents right here in the hood. You can see where the paint's been chipped away. It's actually a dent right there. The wiper arms, the sun has eaten away the paint on that. Same with the exterior red paint. Red is known to fade quick, especially if left out in the sun, not waxed properly. Elements get to it pretty quick. The door handle, never seen this before. I've owned a few DelSols and never once seen a screw inside there. This is the only side that has it. I think maybe it was coming off and someone just screwed it in. That will have to get checked out. Stock rims. The weather stripping is in really bad shape. Problem with this is a lot of these parts you can no longer get from Honda, so the only option you have is probably used off a car that's been in an accident and them parting out. That'll probably be the most difficult parts to find, are all these weather stripping. So that's about it for the exterior. So here we have the wheels. These are stock for a 94 DelSol. I'm looking to change those out. These are actually 4-lug. I plan to do either a Civic Type R or Integra Type R 5-lug conversion. Just has a lot better stopping power. I've had that on a previous DelSol that I owned years ago, and the stopping power on that was just superb. Want to go back to that instead of these brakes that feel like they're barely stopping the car. Not sure what wheels I want to go with. Probably go with some 16s. They're really hard to find some 16 in the pattern of the 5x114 and a third that are actually lightweight, more for racing. Everything wants to go 17 now, and I don't want to go any bigger, add rotating mass that I don't have to. Next up I have the interior. Interior is in pretty good shape, other than where the sun usually damages the interior, which is along this top ridge, the door panels. Here though, the previous owner messed it up by adding duct tape on top, which when you tore off that duct tape, all it did was tore up more of the I guess material that was used on it. Got some missing caps, maybe some missing screws in there. Gotta get those replaced. Has the stock DelSol mats. Got a tear here in the seat. These seats plan to change out, put in some nice leather S2000 seats. Really nice and comfortable. Now, because this is the 94, it didn't come with a trunk release from the interior. Only way to get in the trunk is by a key. Now, on the 95s, they added so you actually had another lever here that would pop the trunk. You can actually convert that pretty easy if you find a salvage DelSol, and you can get the line along with this panel here. That hopefully I can find, and I'll show you that in a future video. But the previous owner did something of their own. They added this button right here. This red button pops the trunk. You hear it right there? Popped it. So that kind of helps out there, but I'd rather keep this car looking as stock as possible as far as, you know, interior stuff like that goes. Don't like having these knobs that You don't know if it's going to give out. Also added a second cigarette lighter right here. Probably to charge a phone, put the phone inside there, charge as he's driving. Have the stock cassette player. Right now I don't have the code, so it's on anti-theft, can't really use it. Not that anyone uses a cassette player anymore, but use it for the radio. I don't drive this car currently just because it's my project. Plan to take my time on rebuilding it and modifying it to what I want it to be. Other than that, the interior is pretty stock and pretty clean. We go around to the other side. Here, it's actually missing the interior door lever. Gotta open it up by pulling this wire if you're the passenger. Once again, the sun ate away the top here, but adding on that duct tape just ruined it even more. So that's about it for the interior. Here I have the trunk. It used to have the carpeting inside here, but I tore that out due to a water leak problem inside here that just molded the bottom of those. That plus, you know, this is going to be more of a daily track car, so I don't need any of those carpeting panels inside here. The struts here, dampeners, whatever you want to call those, they don't hold up the trunk lid, so those will need to get replaced, but being 22 years old, that usually happens. Also missing the cover right here for the targa top handle, where you get the lever to lift it up if you need to get access and you have the targa top sat in here. Other than that, no rust. Just got to clean it up and paint it. Now the last section of this car would be the engine bay. Here, as you can see, the stock B16A3, power steering, cruise control, everything the car came with. 94s didn't come with the ABS, which I don't really care for ABS, so that's all right with me. That started in 95 on the VTEC models. Don't know if you can really tell, but the VTEC solenoid is leaking. So I got a little bit of oil running down there. Easy fix, $20 to $30 gasket, that should fix that problem. Only other problem I have with this car right now is it doesn't always want to start. And I'm pretty sure I figured out what that problem is, something minor. But most people couldn't figure it out. That's probably why I got it so cheap, was because they probably didn't know what was going on with the car, couldn't figure out why it wouldn't always start, had problems with it. They replaced the starter on it. Starter is pretty new. Don't know if you can really see down there. But the problem is, it used to have an alarm system. There's the horn, go across, you can see the red and black wire that's been cut. Pretty much what I found is happening is the car will not start because it feels that someone's trying to steal the car. The alarm is probably going off, but because those two wires are cut, you don't hear no sound. The car didn't come with the key fob, so therefore you can't turn on or off the alarm. So I'll probably have to get underneath, pretty much dismantle that part, remove all the alarm parts, and that should fix it. Because all I have to do is leave the key in the on position for about 15 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes usually work. Then when I go to start it, starts no problem. So that'll probably be my first fix. Want to get that taken care of. Don't want to be out somewhere and ready to leave and have to wait 10 to 15 minutes to get the car started. This is my project car, so I'm in no rush to actually get this completed. Trying to source parts, especially because this year of car and it being a DelSol, anything that's for a DelSol and strictly a DelSol, a lot harder to find. If it's for an EG, a little more common. Can find those parts a little easier. So exterior panels, weather stripping, things like that will be pretty hard to come by. But here's the car. This is just stage one of the car. Just purchased it and looking to modify it. Follow to see the progress this car goes through.